Hello, welcome back to my channel. We are back at it again today with a Beck reaction. I'm sure all of you know, but their channel is called Kind of Good, Kind of Beck. I've been seeing some of you in the comments said to react to this video, but a lot of people in Girl World have been reacting to it as well. The reaction is called Beck Kind of Reacts. Karina Kaboom, members only live. So I'm very interested to see. I know that there's been some tea. I have seen bits and pieces, but I have not watched the whole thing. So let's get into it. This is cute. Also, there were some comments when I reacted to Beck last time. I'm not being overly nice. My reaction is my reaction. If I say that I think the art is really good, it's because I think the art is very good. When I'm not lenient but understanding of Beck, it's not because I'm trying to kiss their ass. Like, my reactions and my feelings are genuine and my own. Like, I cannot, physically cannot pretend to like someone that I don't like, pretend to think something is good or whatever if I don't think that way. It's just my personality. Like, you know if I like you or not, you know if I like something or not. So yeah, when I'm positive towards Beck, it's genuine. I also am not afraid to say negative things about Beck. The reason that I'm very lenient towards Beck is because I, in my personal life, have and still deal with a narcissistic relationship. I am not able to walk away from it the way that Beck was able to, but I understand the way that you can get caught up into it and do things and let things slide that you on a personal level and like in any other circumstance wouldn't do. And so my understanding of Beck comes from a personal understanding of what it's like to be in a narcissistic relationship. And like, you really do lose yourself. You really do kind of let some of your values and morals go on the wayside in a way to like preserve yourself within that relationship. And honestly, like, it's a survival tactic in those relationships. So when I am overly kind, it's not actually me being overly kind, it's my genuine thoughts on it. So I just want to clear that up, because I know some of y'all got real testy with me, and that's fine. You're welcome to that opinion. But I just want to make it clear. I am me. My reactions are me. There's nothing I'm trying to gain from being nice and applauding Beck on her art and her their art and them speaking out and them finally letting go of this narcissistic relationship. Now, do I think Beck should have ever gotten into this relationship to begin with, especially with so much of the knowledge we already had by that time? No, and Beck has stated that. Beck has also stated that she did shit that she shouldn't have done and takes accountability for that. And that's another reason why I appreciate them and am willing to be understanding of their situation, is because they aren't like Amberlynn. They do take accountability for their actions and for the wrongdoings that they've done. Yeah, just want to make that clear. Anyways, this is very cute, very Beck. Not my style, but super Beck. Also, that's cute as fuck.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming back for another video. I want to start with a few little updates. I took some of your advice and we'll be starting to make distinct thumbnails for each video now instead of just a text and background. This way you can distinguish them better from each other. So I hope you like those. Next, I want to talk about upcoming videos I will be making and ideas for the channel. Some people wanted to know if they could send in fan art, and I think that's an awesome idea. So I made a new Gmail for YouTube stuff, and I think it would be cool for you guys to send art there, and I can feature them with your name and username at the end of my videos. Also, I've decided my first full cryptid video will be on the Mothman. It will be a combo of research and vlog. I'm going to take a day trip with some friends to Point Pleasant when it gets a little warmer.
Why was Mothman He got booty. Okay, Mothman. Drop the booty routine
to
down
show you
below.
guys the Mothman Museum and the TNT Dome and talk to you about what I learned. So I can't wait to share
This
that
is so cute,
folklore
the
and my
avatar. Are you
experiences
kidding
with you
me?
when I get the chance. I don't have an estimated date for that release because of work and life, but I promise to deliver it as soon as I can. Finally, I just want to mention that this video is a reactor reaction, similar to the Tom Harlock video, but not as many layers. I decided to react to Karina's video in this one, and I think I'll continue to do a few more reacting to reactors videos in the future. I'm not sure how many I'll do or which videos to react to just yet, but I definitely want to at least do a Mr. Snowflake video and probably the ankle and maybe a few compilations from others. I'm going to keep it simple with videos that either have me in them or are about things I feel like I have something to add from my perspective. Some people think I should spill everything I know, and some people think I should just stop talking about her entirely. For a long time, I kept a lot of things to myself out of respect for privacy, something that she never gave me during our relationship. And
I definitely think Beck should speak about their experience. For years, Amberlynn threatened them, like, made it seem like Beck wasn't allowed to talk about their own experience within the relationship. Only Amberlynn had that ability, and anytime Beck would say even something small, Amberlynn would come, and some of her audience and babies would come and be like, oh, you're just trying to monetize the relationship. The entire Beck and Amberlynn relationship, Amberlynn monetized. Amberlynn made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of Beck. The only reason Amberlynn was bringing in the amount of money and views and engagement during the Beck era was because of Beck and Eric and Ricky. It wasn't because of Amberlynn. Like, was it great to see Amberlynn just be such a full-blown train wreck and, like, so uninhibited in showing that? Sure, but where the interest really came was her interaction with other people. And we saw the fast decline of Amberlynn and her channel as soon as those characters left. Like, the moment that they left and she was doing live streams, like, we literally saw after they broke up, Amberlynn, when she would go on lives, would get not nearly as many super chats, not nearly as much engagement. And then when Beck was there, a lot. Like, the difference was stark. So I think it's just, like, kind of crazy that there's still people that don't think Beck should have a voice. Like, Beck was in that relationship. That was just as much their experience as Amberlynn. And Amberlynn abused the fuck out of that. Abused the fuck out of the fact that Amberlynn had a platform and Beck at the time didn't. And made it seem as though Beck's experiences were invalid and no one wanted to hear them. And so I'm really happy that Beck is, one, using the platform that was kind of handed to her, them. Y'all, I swear I'm really trying with the pronouns. Was really handed to them. They have 85,000 followers or subscribers. They're getting around 34,000 views, quite a bit of views. So they're making, like, a pretty good amount of money. If they keep doing this, and already they're improving on their videos, like, they can make a substantial amount of money and not have to, like, go and do these, like, crazy jobs that they've been doing for the past several years, where they've kind of been, like, abused in the workforce, which, to be honest, again, most people in America are abused in the workforce. So if you can find a way to not have to deal with that, that's amazing. And I'm really glad that they are finally taking the platform and the opportunity that was really handed to them.
Fear of retaliation, which was something that happened anyway. She was angry with me for leaving her, even though she didn't really love me. She continued over all these years to throw insults at me and lie about me.
And that's from narcissism, right? Like, Amberlynn 100% did not love Beck. It was clear almost from day one that Beck was 100% a rebound after Destiny. It's because Amberlynn really had no choice, wasn't really able to live alone, needed a lot of assistance, and very quickly Destiny was getting the fuck over that. And so Amberlynn really had to find someone fast. And when Beck messaged her and, like, said, oh, I'm sorry you're getting all this hate, you're really beautiful, which, to be fair, when people first start watching Amberlynn, this is the tale as old as time, the initial thought is, why is everyone being so mean to her? And then you quickly find out that there's a reason behind it. But Amberlynn sank her teeth into Beck and would not let go, would fucking not let go. And then moved in very shortly after into the house that that Beck, Eric, and Ricky were living in. Really started making it like kind of taking control over the house, which is like really weird. And like it was very much an opportunistic relationship for Amberlynn. And at the time, yeah, Beck really had very low self-esteem, and that was very obvious. And Amberlynn, being the narcissist that she is, took full advantage of that and made it seem like Amberlynn was the best that she could get. And that's really sad. And so when Beck finally stood up after years of being beaten, manipulated, abused, and just like, yeah, just like belittled as a human being by the supposed person that's supposed to love them, Amberlynn's ego exploded. Like, it was this thing of like, I did all of this to like beat down this person and they still had the ability to leave me. And that is like such an affront to Amberlynn, because in Amberlynn's eyes, Amberlynn was the prize in that relationship, not Beck, which is crazy because like we saw Amberlynn in that time. I mean, we see Amberlynn now. Amberlynn, what's crazy is that right now Amberlynn is much better in the way that she presents herself. But like we saw Amberlynn in her more real and so raw moments, and Amberlynn ain't a prize, okay? Like you see that shit and you run far and fast. So yeah, it really is crazy. Like she was pissed when she was crying on that couch and they did that live stream of them breaking up. It wasn't Amberlynn crying because she was sad, like when she cried for Destiny or Crystal. It was crying, like anger crying. Like during that video, the first initial breakup video, she was already throwing like daggers at Beck and throwing like shade at Beck. So like it's just very interesting. Beck's definitely got a they definitely have a much clearer head on the actual situation that was going on.
Despite me being totally quiet, other than a few Q&As and corrections. But you all show me that it really is my story to tell however I want to tell it. I don't want to do an entire tell-all about all the dirty details. It does feel mean, and it isn't who I am. But there's still other things I can say and talk about that are still true and valid experiences for me, whether she wants me to talk about them or not. And yes, I threatened to sue.
I mean, here's the thing. I get that. I think Beck is just genuinely a good person and doesn't want to hurt people. But a part of me is like, it's so unfair. And again, this just kind of shows the good character of Beck. And I don't know what I would do if I was in Beck's situation, but like, it really shows the very stark difference between Amberlynn and Beck as human beings. Because Beck really could just say it the fuck all. Like, Beck lived through the full bedbound era of Amberlynn, where she wasn't showering, where she was having her ass wiped, where she was free bleeding on the mattress, where like she just looked like she was dead. Like Amberlynn looked horrible during this time, and we know shit was nasty during that time. I mean, I think it's nasty now, but not as bad. And we know Beck could expose the fuck out of her, but yeah, I think it just shows her character. And I just think it's really irritating that Amberlynn, although doesn't have as much tea, although she likes to say she does, like doesn't have the same type of tea on Beck, still from day one till now in her live stream, just tries to shit on Beck as much as possible. A person that stood by you when you were your grossest physically and so blatantly gross emotionally online, it just like it's really crazy to like see that difference. And it's crazy that Amberlynn, with all of that, still wants us to believe that Amberlynn's the good guy and that Beck is the crazy one. Like that really to me shows just this like deeply sick mind that Amberlynn has. And I really think it goes beyond narcissism because again, I have a personal relationship with a narcissist. And they are not as crazy as Amberlynn. Like, I definitely think there's like some other things going on with Amberlynn. I think it's sociopathic tendencies. I do not think there is empathy there. Like, there is not understanding. Like, even with a narcissist, while a lot of times they don't live in a reality, there's moments of clarity. And oftentimes, there is empathy still there, and it's kind of one of those things where like they're working with the brain that they have. But for Amberlynn, there's just something else going on, you know? Like there is never a moment of clarity, there is never moments of empathy. It's all just very manipulative and very dark.
Amber if she kept talking about me, but she never did stop. And now it's well past that. This is YouTube after all. I may have been mentally unprepared to deal with it in the past, but things are different now. I'm entitled to respond as much as she is and to talk about my past and present as little or as much as I want. I like reacting to reactors because they're more thoughtful people than Amber is, and they give me a buffer for her content and from her. They've been kinder to me even at my worst than Amber ever has, and that's why I'd rather give them attention than her now. So for my first reaction, since Karina gave me a platform to share my voice on, I'd like to react to her content. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So we are going to be talking about what I heard yesterday in Amber's live stream. I knew that she was going to do this, and I figured it was going to take her about like a few live streams to do it. But no, in her stream, she decided to totally go off and say things about Beck, caught in very interesting things. And she says she has a lot of dirt on Alexis.
I love how anytime she has a falling out with somebody, she's just like, I have so much dirt on that person. I have this and that. No, she doesn't. It's just a fear tactic for her to silence people because she doesn't want to have people
Beck
see
knows
that
what's
side
up.
of her. And so she doesn't have to take accountability for her actions. If there weren't things that you did wrong, then you wouldn't be needing to threaten people into silence.
What I've been trying on is what public figures say publicly.
And she did the same thing to Beck. Sorry, not to Beck, to Destiny. Like when Destiny started sharing her experience with Amberlynn pre, during, and post breakup, like not pre breakup, or like pre and post breakup relationship with Amberlynn. Amberlynn was sitting there to Destiny and I don't know if she knew, but supposedly she didn't know she was still live, saying, oh, I have so much shit on you, but I'm not going to say it. Why would you threaten? Just say it. Like, the only shit she had was that her brother was struggling with an addiction, which Amberlynn, so are you. The fuck? That's not tea. That's like, but like, it's just crazy. She uses the same manipulation tactics and really expects people to like be scared of it. But it's so well documented at this point, Amberlynn. Like, everyone knows you, one, don't have shit, and two, you ain't gonna do shit because like you're all bark, you're no bite, because you just have nothing to back up any of your bark,
Publicly accessible information, okay? And please do not go to anyone's channel and leave mean-spirited, negative, disparaging comments or comments.
I think it's really good that Karina puts that in all of her videos because I feel like with Amber, it's kind of the opposite. She is trying to weaponize her audience into going after people that she's trying to keep silent.
It's true. Amberlynn, she used to do this a lot more, but now like she doesn't really have an audience that likes her, as we saw from her membership. Like half of her membership attendee live streams were reaction channels, but we really used to see this a lot more, where she would purposefully point out like negative comments, negative people, in the hopes that, and in the awareness that people who did support her would go and attack these people. And she still tries to do that to this day, but people don't buy it. But it's true. Like, Beck is really nailing this shit.
Beck. She says that Beck is now making content about her. And obviously she is upset that Beck is making content about her. All I
Yeah.
have to say about this is that Beck has every right to respond to all the lies that you've talked about them for years.
Right.
Amber says, oh, well, you know, I did speak about them a few times.
Not
It
a
wasn't
few times. You literally wouldn't shut your mouth up about Becky for like 2 years after the breakup, dude. Like, every video she was talking about Beck in some way, some dig on Beck. Out of nowhere. Literally would like, Beck wouldn't even be talking about her. Beck was like, literally just trying to survive after the breakup, and Amberlynn would somehow find a way to talk about how shit like Beck was, how her girlfriend now is just so much better than Beck, how like Beck is just like so lame and stupid and all of it. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, it got to a point where it's like, you have no reason to be talking about me now. I'm not talking about you. You don't need to be talking about me. You're already monetized and have the platform that you have. A big reason because of Beck and the people that she brought into Amberlynn's life. You know, like it was bizarre. And to this day, she still finds random moments to bring up Beck. Like it makes no sense.
You've made a lot of videos. You went off on Beck recently in a live stream saying that Beck is lying about everything. And by the way, she repeats this in this live stream. She says, it's fine that Beck wants to tell their story, but like, don't lie. That's a surprise about me.
She said the same thing about Jordy. Like Jordy, when he talks about Amberlynn, like in the live stream, she's like, you can make lives about me, but just don't lie. Like, I just don't understand why you have to lie. And like when she was saying if she could ask anything to like do an interview with Jordy, she's like, I'd ask him like why he lies and stuff. It's like, Amber, where's the lies? Like, it's people reacting to your words. So where is the lie? Amberlynn just says that. Like, she threatens people with saying, I'm going to expose you, which she has nothing. And then when that doesn't work and people talk about her and expose the person that Amberlynn is, just like Alexis did as well, Amberlynn then her second like routine is to say, oh, well, they're just lying. Like, yeah, we're gonna believe that the 11-year known liar, we're gonna believe them over the people that are saying what we already kind of know. Like, she really thinks her audience can't see what's really going on. And so like, yeah, it's just like her second tactic when she's lost the control over a person and they actually start speaking the truth about their experience in the relationship. It's like, oh, well, they're just lying. Okay, Amber, that makes sense.
Is lying about you. I think Beck needs to react and respond to any allegation that they so choose fit.
Thank you, Karina. Everything I have said about Amber has been honest. And I haven't really said anything wild about Amber, anything out of pocket or anything. But like, when you say lies about me, I am going to defend myself. And
you know what's interesting? Destiny 2 really didn't say anything that crazy. Like, the worst thing she said is she didn't shower for the year that they lived with Amberlynn's mom, which is like crazy. But people kind of already knew that. Like, and that she smelled, which again, people already knew that. Like, she looks unhygienic. Like, you're not gonna smell good if you're not hygienic, you know? So it's just like, I know there's just so much more that all of the girlfriends could have said about Amber, and to be honest, every single one of them have been pretty fucking respectful and like of Amberlynn's privacy in that way. So I don't know why Amberlynn is getting in a tizzy. Well,
going to tell my side of the story of what happened.
Because you've made hundreds of thousands of dollars on
Beck, New York pizza.
And now she's obviously visibly upset that Beck is making content. Beck asked you repeatedly, please stop speaking about me. And it wasn't just a few times. It wasn't just a couple of times like Amberlynn says in this live stream. It was a bunch of times. So first thing she says about Beck is that pretty much Beck is lying about her. Okay.
Right.
Then she says that listen to this, that they did not have the best relationship. Why did you lie?
Obviously.
You lied extensively saying there were things going on between you guys that were not. You were saying lots of different other things like that if Beck didn't want to be with me, then they wouldn't be with me.
Yes.
That's a lie. Because
exactly, like the entire relationship, people were like, there is no chemistry between you two. It looks really awkward. I don't think you like each other. Like, you guys don't give off girlfriend and girlfriend. And Amberlynn would constantly try to make us believe that they were having sex, that they were just so intimate all the time, that they were just so in love. And then when people started calling out Amberlynn for her abusiveness towards Beck, then it was like this whole, like, no, Beck's a grown woman. She could leave if she wants. Like, no one's making her stay. Just like all of this shit. And it's very interesting because the truth eventually comes out, as always, and then Amberlynn will try to gaslight her audience into thinking that Beck is the one lying, when Beck's just confirming what everyone could already see with their own eyes. It's really bizarre, y'all. Like, Amberlynn's a case study.
You many times, Beck later told us. So she says that, she wasn't in a good place when she was with Beck, which I can understand. Okay, that's true.
Obviously,
and then she says, but it takes two to tango.
By saying that it takes two to tango, you are admitting that you did wrong. Yep. But you're not being specific about what or taking any accountability for it.
Meanwhile, exactly. It's a narcissist way of saying, well, yeah, fine, I did shit, but so did you. Like, it's taking the blame away from the person that actually is being called out for their actions and refocusing the attention on the other person. So Amberlynn can feign taking accountability and say, fine, yeah, I did shit, but isn't really taking accountability because, well, she did shit and Beck did shit too, and maybe even framing it as, well, I did shit because Beck did shit and not the other way around,
It will take accountability for the things that you said that I did wrong in the relationship. I know I wasn't very affectionate. I didn't call you pet names fast enough. You always would say that I would side with everybody else over you.
First off, why would Beck be affectionate? Beck did not want to be in that relationship to begin with. Amberlynn pushed Beck into that relationship. And then Beck kind of went with it. I don't know why. And I think maybe that has something to do with them having low self-esteem at that point. But Beck has told us they were pushed into that relationship by Amberlynn. Amberlynn was like, you either date me or I'm never speaking to you again. And at the time, Beck kind of was interested in Amberlynn. So she just was thrown into this relationship. Again, Beck is a grown woman and had control over it. But I get this feeling of being pushed to something that you really don't want, but we're just kind of seeing what's going on, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you find yourself in a situation that you're like, I didn't even want this to begin with, That's what happened with that whole relationship. Also, Amberlynn, again, videotaped her abuse to Beck, financially, emotionally, just in every way possible, inhibited Beck from seeing their family, timed Beck up about how long that they could spend time with their friends and family, literally did not allow any autonomy or freedom from Beck, from Amberlynn. It was just severely abusive. Beck was going through renal failure, and Beck was still required to just be Amberlynn's servant. Beck was literally pretty much, how do you call it, sedated for months because they were put on the wrong medication, and the light was gone from their eyes. They were not there. And Beck even states now that whole period of their life they have no memory of. And Amberlynn still had Beck driving her around in the middle of the night to go get binge foods, was again Amberlynn's little slave, and had no respect or care for Beck. When Beck got her wisdom teeth taken out, and she said, oh, I'm in a lot of pain, and Amberlynn's like, oh, and then Beck was like, I'm really hungry, but I'm in pain. Amberlynn's like, yeah, you should go get something to eat. Was just such a gross individual. I wouldn't treat anyone like that, let alone my significant other. And then with Beck not like, first off, what do you call Amberlynn? Like, what pet name are you gonna call Amberlynn? Like, there was no affection there, so like it would just be forced. And like for Beck to not be on Amberlynn's side, what Amberlynn means by that is that it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong, you still better be my yes man. And when Beck wasn't, that was an affront to Amberlynn. Because again, she's a narcissist. Like, to Amberlynn, she can and has done no wrong. It's really fucking crazy, y'all.
Was truly because I felt like you were in the wrong in those moments.
Yeah.
You were. And though you see me as a bad partner, I did so much for you. And these things do not add up to the things you've put me through.
Nope.
All these bad things that I can
And
say,
honestly, that's the thing, is Amberlynn loves to say, oh, I did so much for Beck, I did so much for Destiny, and they just left me, like they used me. What Amberlynn views as so much is like putting a roof over their head after convincing Beck specifically to not work, right? The only thing that they did was bought them t-shirts, candy, and food, and paid for their rent, right? Which Beck didn't even want. Like, they wanted to get a job, right? That is the extent of what Amberlynn did for Beck. Beck, on the other hand, was literally Amberlynn's emotional support girlfriend. Literally did physical things for her, washed her, wiped her, was there for her all the fucking time, was literally just, again, Amberlynn's little slave. And no gratitude or awareness of the shit that Beck did for Amberlynn has ever been given by Amberlynn, and it will never be given by Amberlynn, because to Amberlynn, what's important is not the things that we do for people, like the emotional support we give to people, the love, the care. For her, the only important thing is money. And Beck didn't provide money, which was also because Amberlynn would not allow Beck to provide money. It's just, I know I keep saying it, but it's just such a bizarre case. Like, Amberlynn really is a case study. I hope and I wish someone who's, like, in school for psychology would, like, do a fucking case study on this woman.
Say all these horrific things about them, but I'm not that type of person. Amberlynn, just in this live stream, you said that Beck is lying. You said that it's okay with you. Oh, thank you for giving permission, oh queen, for them to talk. Please.
Yeah.
You said that they can tell their story, but don't lie about me, and that it takes two to tango in the relationship. Amberlynn's you control
pathetic.
Beck financially and in every other single way. So basically, she did not waste any time. She immediately went after Beck, and she's basically saying that she wasn't the only bad one in the relationship, that Beck is currently
And it's really weird because I don't understand, like, Amberlynn just started, like, bashing Beck again in that, like, random live stream. I don't know who the creator is. And is, like, really going on a rampage now because Beck is just saying her side. Like, hasn't even really said, again, anything about Amberlynn specifically, is just, like, saying her their experience within the relationship. I don't know if Amberlynn, the comments in the live stream, like in the other creator's live stream where she made all these comments of, oh, you wouldn't believe what Beck put me through kind of thing, was happening before Beck started making videos or after. I would assume after, but I'm not sure. But it's just like, yeah, it's just so weird because I don't know why Amberlynn still thinks that she has any leg to stand on. LOL. She got too much leg to stand on, but yeah, metaphorically doesn't really have a leg to stand on, but still is trying to give off the same I don't know, the same tactics. It's just weird to me. I don't
What
know.
genuinely bothers me here is that Amber says that she could say horrific and bad things about Beck and chooses not to when she already has. Amberlynn went on Instagram, said the worst date she's ever had was with Beck. Amberlynn went around making superficial comments about superficial things about Beck. She's talked about a lot of reaction channels, right? In the same way, making statements about certain things that Amber always cries about. Oh, don't talk about me and my thing. Okay, right.
Yeah.
You have not stopped trashing Beck. I knew that you could not help yourself. You not only owe this person a large amount of money from the live streams, but
hundreds and thousands of dollars, people.
This person went through renal failure and still drove you around, and you filmed them while they were incoherent. This person did everything for you for 4 years, and when they dared to break up with you, like I said, it's narcissistic injury. You know, oh, well, this person dared to break up with me. Well, how dare they make content about me? Well, you made content about them. You've made hundreds of thousands of dollars on them when they were in the pool telling them, oh, you better sit down, don't get up, you know?
I mean, the videos that we could make into a compilation of Amberlynn being an absolute, like, horrible human being towards Beck is just, like, there'd be at least, like, over 2 hours of content just of that. Like, it was crazy. Amberlynn, every single moment during that era, would find some way to shit on Beck. Like, one time Beck was, like, saying, like, doing a little video and talking about something. I don't even know. Like, maybe it was, like, I don't know. I don't know what Beck was talking about. And Amberlynn, like, the whole time is like, oh, you're holding the camera. Oh, let me fix this. Oh, you're doing it wrong. Another time when Beck was on live and made a comment on something, Amberlynn's like, oh, did you take your medication? Yeah, it's really obvious you didn't take your medication. It was just, like, such a nasty individual towards a person that she wanted us to believe she loved. Like, it's like, Amber, you're a psychopath. You got so many fucking screws loose, my dude.
Talk about them. After the breakup, Amberlynn has made a lot of money on Beck. So I personally feel that this happened way sooner than I thought. I thought that it would take her a few live streams to go off on Beck, but it didn't.
To be fair, I don't think the live stream era is going to last much because I think Amberlynn expected a few hundred people to pay for memberships. And that ain't happening. People aren't going to be sending in super chats the way that I'm sure she was expecting. Because, again, back in the day, in one of her live stream eras, she was making a shit ton of money. But what she fails to remember is that live stream era was so good because Beck was there. Because Beck was the one getting super chats. People were interacting with Beck. They weren't interacting with Amberlynn. No one gives a fuck about Amberlynn, to be honest, at this point. No one's willfully paying money to listen to Amberlynn read, fucking lie and sit in her delusion and look at her phone and act smug and be the dumbest human fucking being on YouTube. You know, like, no one's interested in that. Amberlynn is her own biggest fan, you know? Like, no one really fucks with Amberlynn at this point. So I don't think it's gonna last much longer because it's embarrassing for Amberlynn to only have 20 people that are willing to pay. And a lot of those people being reaction channels so that they could share the content of the live stream. That's an ego bruiser to Amberlynn. So she would much rather X out the live streams and lose having an extra $200 than be really exposed for the fact that people don't fucking like her, and it's, like, really shown in this way.
That Beck is lying. At the end of the day, Beck put up with so much, doing so much for you.
Yeah.
They gave up a real relationship, okay? They gave up certain things in relationship that you guys were not doing for years.
They lost their 20s, the end of their 20s, dude.
And members of their family are no longer with us, and they gave up time with them for you. And yes, everybody makes their own decisions, but the point is, you financially controlled them, and you are still trying to trash them and being upset that they have something to say.
And I truly, honestly feel like I was obligated to do so because she didn't have anybody else in her life. Like, she had burned every single bridge of every other person in her past. She had no one but me and the people around me, and she took all of us down with her. I felt that if I had left, that the animals wouldn't get taken care of, and I already knew that Amber could not take care of herself. In one of my last lives with Amber, you guys heard me say, who's the one that's been wiping you? And obviously, I didn't mean for anybody to hear that, but you guys did. And I'd only said that because I was just so frustrated in that moment because she kept acting like I hadn't done anything for her. Yeah. At one point, she said that I didn't do any caretaker-y things for her, so I didn't feel like a caretaker. But I did start to feel like a caretaker, and I'd felt like one since we had lived with Eric and Ricky. So that's where the whole wiping thing started, was when we were living with Eric and Ricky. And that didn't stop until the day we broke up. But even before then, I felt like a caretaker. I would do all of the housework, all of the cleaning. I would help her try to maintain her hair because it would get matted. And I would help her wash the back of her neck because she would wear chokers and it would rub on the back and like stain it. So I'd try to help her get the stain off. So while I wasn't perfect, I did do my best, and none of
Do you think that's why she wears her choker still? Because that shit is just staining the fuck out of her neck, so she's just gonna have a permanent ring around her. Well, she don't really have a neck, but her imaginary neck. Do you think that's why? Amberlynn's nasty, y'all. Amberlynn is really nasty. And the thing is, like, again, everyone kind of knew that this shit was happening, but, like, to have it confirmed is just, like, Amber, you're gross. You really... The fact that this bitch is still so smug to this day, when we know the shit that she has been through and is probably still going through, it's just interesting. Like, a woman that showers doesn't need to sit and tell us that they showered. Doesn't need to act like they didn't realize that they had a shower cap on. Like, oh, you guys, I'm so sorry. Like, I just took a shower. I look crusty as hell. And, like, I haven't showered in 40 fucking days. But I just took a shower. Oh, the back of my hair is a little bit wet. Like, don't you hair cap girly pops know what that's like. It's like, it's, Amber, we know you don't shower. We know you need help to be hygienic. We know that because just like the length of your arm, there's no fucking way it can clean the places that it needs to clean, Amber. Okay, so like, it's just very, very interesting.
Excuses, the things that you have said about me and the lies you have told. And none of that makes our experiences equal.
Yep.
So that's it for this video. The rest of the video is just about Amber's current breakup, and I don't really want to speak on that right now. I want to thank Karina Kaboom again for the nice things that she said about me in this video. And if you missed the last video, it is a taste of what is to come with my upcoming video.
I can't get over like this booty. Okay. That's all I have for this. That was a good video. I think, yeah, Beck kind of said everything that the girl world has been saying since girl world has existed. Amberlynn is a nasty, nasty bitch, both emotionally, physically, just the way she interacts with people. The fact that she doesn't have anyone because she has burned all of her bridges. Yeah, the fact that she relies on her girlfriends to help her take care of just basic hygienic things is just like, it's everything we knew and know, but it's very interesting to hear it coming from someone like Beck. Yeah, I'm glad Beck is speaking out. I hope they continue to speak out on this relationship. I also hope that, I feel like she should just say the dirty shit. Sorry, they should just say the dirty shit, to be honest, because like, we already know it. Just say it. But maybe it's just because I'm a nosy bitch. Yeah, I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm glad that Beck is feeling more confident in expressing themselves. I'm glad that she's reacting to reaction channels. I think that'll be super interesting. I hope that they do like more reactions to reaction channels like back in the day, so that we can see their take on the actual things that were going on during their actual relationship. That'd be super interesting. I'd be very down for that, Beck. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I feel like I didn't have much to say beyond like what Beck was saying, because again, they kind of just nailed everything that we've all been saying for a very long time. But I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Also, I posted my membership. Like I have a membership thing going now. This is, so right now, the perks, I have it so it's like $1.50, I think. Something like that, or $1.25. I have it in lei, so I'm just doing the conversion off the top of my head. But it's like $1.50. So what you get is early access to new videos. I'm not going to start that until I have actual memberships, obviously. Membership shout outs, photo and status updates. That'd be more of like Dimitri, but maybe also me studying. I need to figure out how to do lives because I don't know how, and it's because I haven't actually looked it up, so I need to do that. I don't know how you like react to a video while on live. Like I don't know how to do that setup, so I have to look that up and see if I'm capable of doing that. But I would like to do lives every now and then. I don't want to make any like specified amount of lives I would do just because, again, I am in med school, so like there's weeks where I just like barely have time to be a human being, let alone like girl world stuff, and there's other times where I have much more free time. So I'm gonna figure that out during this break that I have right now of how to do lives. Maybe do a live during this break. I really want to do one. I think it'd be really fun. I'd love to have actual like conversation with you guys because y'all are fucking hilarious. Yeah, but membership is up. Don't feel like you need to watch it. I'm not gonna have anything really exclusive for members outside of like photos and statuses and early access because I don't want anyone to not see my videos. Like, the one good thing about YouTube is that you have access to videos for free. Like, I think to like put any video behind a paywall is kind of crazy, in my opinion. That's my opinion, okay? That's my truth. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna take the membership thing so seriously. So also don't stress. Like if you can't afford it, you don't want to afford it, y'all aren't really missing out. Yeah, because I want to really keep my content accessible to everyone. Anyways, that is all I have. Again, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. We are now at 962 subscribers. Ooh, so close to 1,000. Very exciting. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a relaxing one. If you work, hopefully not a stressful work weekend. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!